Well, the wait is almost over for the Edmonton Oil Kings.
Yeah, the WHL's Eastern Conference Finals start tomorrow at Rexall. There will be several familiar names on the ice, the offspring of former big leaguers.
You can see the pedigree in these kids.
They share the same jersey and the same curse or blessing, depending on how you look at it. Henrik Samuelsson, Griffin Reinhart, Michael St. Croix, and Keegan Lowe are all sons of former NHLers.
Great save! Another save by St. Croix. Two dandies.
I don't know if my dad was as, maybe as high profile as Kevin Lowe was, but yeah, he did play in the National Hockey League.
Fortunate to come from talented gene pools and having surnames that open doors, but it also makes them targets for constant criticism and ridicule. Nobody hears it more than Keegan Lowe.
Honest to God, every game, some guys, the whole bench, every time he skates by the bench, the whole bench stands up and starts chirping it and giving it to him.
3 seasons ago, Keegan Lowe joined the Oil Kings as a 16-year-old, a huge leap for any junior hockey player, and the skeptics said it was more about who his father is rather than his talent level.
Of course I felt it, and even if I was earning what I was getting, there's always, people saying that I wasn't earning it, and that's hard, because it's been like that my whole life.
I can tell you right now, he's deserved everything he's done for us. You can really see his dad's influence on him. He plays like his dad. When he practices hard. He never lets anybody off the hook.
Like most young players, Lowe did struggle early on, but blossomed after losing his spot on the blue line early last season.
I sat him out last year at the beginning of the year. And at the end of the year, he ended up being plus 35. So he's taken leaps and bounds for us.
As much as it was bad for me, or upsetting for me, it helped me out a lot, just kind of wake-up call.
Since then, Lowe has been drafted by Carolina and is now on the top defensive pairing with captain Mark Pesic. He has a reputation for being one of the hardest-working players on the team and one of the biggest agitators on the ice.
He fights whenever he needs to and gets into it with guys, and lots of teams hate him just for the extra stuff that he does. The name probably has helped me a little bit, and there's no denying that, but I think for the most part I've done it all myself.
Moose Jaw arriving in town tonight, game 1 of the Eastern Conference tomorrow night at Rexall. Now over to some NHL playoff action. The Capitals taking on the Bruins, trying to even the series at 2 in the first period. Caps 2-on-1. Brooks Laich sets up Marcus Johansson. Washington up 1-0. Now, pretty much a mirror image back the other way. Bruins on the rush. Rich Peverly goes short side on Braden Holtby. Tie game. Now in the second, Capitals with the man advantage. Alexander Semin, an absolute laser. Washington up 2-1 and managed to hold off the Cats for the remaining 21 minutes. This series is tied at 2. Slow start for the Blackhawks and Coyotes. Pick it up in the third. 12 minutes remain. Shane Doan crashes the net for the rebound. Phoenix leads 1-0. Just over a minute left. Coyotes now up 2-1. David Bolin throws a backhander on net. Deflects out to Michael Frolik. We need overtime for the 4th time in 4 games. Blackhawks need the next goal to tie the series. Mikhail Bodker could ruin that here. Crashes the net and it slips through. Bodker gets his 2nd overtime winner in as many games. Sharks hosting the Blues in game 4. St. Louis up 2-1 on the series. 7 minutes in.
Center's chance, scores! From Bean with the shot, and the St. Louis Blues have the icebreaker.
Good start for the Blues. Things slowed down after that. Pick it up in the third. Antoniemi fumbles the puck. Andy McDonald extends the lead. Dying minutes. Sharks with the extra man. Joe Thornton nets one, but they couldn't muster another. Blues take a 3-1 series lead. Martin Brodeur one shutout away from sole ownership of the playoff record. Game 4 in Jersey. Brodeur looks sharp early on, coming up with a big pad save. Devils on the power play. The point shot gets tipped in front by Zach Parise, putting the Devils up 1-0. In the third, Devils keep pouring it on. Steve Bernier snipes one past Scott Clemenson. Devils lead by 2. Then Travis Zajac makes no mistake on the one-timer. The Devils would add one more, making the final 4-0. A shutout for Brodeur gives him the playoff record at 24. The Oklahoma City Barons are off to a great start in the AHL playoffs. Yandini stopped all 14 shots he faced as the Barons beat the Houston Aeros 5-0 to take a 1-0 series lead. Now over to the majors. Jays hosting the Rays. Pick it up in the 5th. Jays trailing 4-3. Evan Longoria goes deep center. It's a 2-run homer. Tampa up 6-3. Bottom 6, bases loaded, 2 outs for the Jays. Adam Lind with a line drive caught by Carlos Pena to end the inning. JP Howell happy about that out. Rays go on to win 9-4. And a heartbreaking loss for the Stony Plain Eagles in the Allen Cup. The senior AAA boys lost 5-1 to the Grand Falls Windsor Cataracts in the quarterfinal. Their tournament is done. Red Deer Rebel defenseman Matt Dumba leading Canada against Russia at the World Under-18s in the Czech Republic. Winner to face the U.S. in the semis. Dumba leading the tournament in scoring, nets his 5th midway through the first, 1-0 Canada. And we know Dumba can throw the body. He rocks Alexander Delnoff. Dumba gets 2 minutes for checking to the head and a 10-minute misconduct. But Canada would kill it off, up 2-1 when Troy Burke finds Kirby Reichel. He taps in his second of the game. Canada regains the 2-goal lead. They win it 4-2 and advance to the semis. He arrived in the city a few days ago and has a lot to prove. The newly signed QB is fighting for a job with the Eskimos and is also trying to leave his checkered past behind him.
You know, I've been through some things and definitely learned from them and try to teach other people about it and so they can learn from my situation.
In 2009, Jeremiah Masoli led the Oregon Ducks to a Rose Bowl appearance, but then pleaded guilty to a robbery at a frat house, followed by marijuana possession that led him to being kicked off the team. He played his senior year at Ole Miss. Masoli said there's more to the story than people know, and he wants fans to find out for themselves.
You know, on my website, jeremiahmasoli.net, I got some things up there that maybe might interest fans to see, you know, the true story, true side of things, and, you know, just see the story.
Jeremiah, like all of us, made some bad decisions. We have to be willing to forgive and extrapolate that those things are not going to happen again. And he has to also understand that there's a zero tolerance policy with us.
That's jeremiahmasoli.net. The Eskimos look at Masoli as a project to develop in the future. And finally, he got a 2-year, $10 million deal for not doing much. And now he's being named one of the most attractive players in the NHL. That's according to Cosmo magazine. Alex Hemsky making the cut as one of the NHL pretty boys.
Good for him.
Good for him.
I guess if this hockey thing doesn't work out, he could always hit the runway or something.
There you go.
Stay with us. We're back after the break with, oddly enough, a fashion show.